Greetings everybody, we are here in some more awesome replay funness. It is going to be EGIncontrol, the Protoss in the bottom left, going up against tQaquanda, the Zerg player in the top right. The map is the Log Caverns, very solid standard map, and I do want to say that even though Aquanda is my teammate, he's a very strong player. I actually don't know if he won this game. He did send it to me, but EGIncontrol is not exactly a weak player. He's part of Evil Geniuses, does a lot for the StarCraft community, running the NASL, doing so much for really everything. It's been awesome to watch him play. Whoop, it's fine. I'm adding... Oh, it looks like it was a practice game. So these guys are going to be playing practice games. So Aquanda and EGIncontrol, this would be an interesting situation as Aquanda seems to be practicing, trying to improve his build. He did say he's adding roaches. This could be a very interesting thing. If Aquanda is going for that normal Aquanda build that has been famous, it does require for early Zerglings upgrades, mobility, being annoying, harassing, and really putting the Protoss under a lot of pressure. So if he's doing this and adding roaches, this could be incredibly effective, as that will add a lot more DPS and beefiness to the Zerglings. If he does two-pronged attacks with the roaches going through one side and the Zerglings with the other, this could be very, very huge. So I'm very curious to see how this is going, especially because EGIncontrol most likely knows exactly what's coming. So if he knows what's coming and still can fend it off, then this is an incredibly strong build. It's a great way to practice something, as it does mean that if your opponent can still not defend it, even though they know it's coming, then the build is just so solid that it doesn't really matter that he knows. And that is a truly, truly beautiful way to play StarCraft 2. I do know that in StarCraft 1, something that you could do to practice is actually give your opponent vision of everything you're doing. And then if he still can't win, then you're a very, very solid player, as you're not doing anything gimmicky or tricky to try and win the game. It just means you solidly outplayed your opponent with superior macro and handled everything he was trying to do, even though you didn't know what was happening. So that is definitely an impressive way to play. So Aquanda, noticing that immediately off the bat that he is a little bit behind in terms of food count, but it should not be a huge deal. He actually still hasn't gotten his natural expansion. That is a little bit of a worry. He is producing 4 Zerglings. We'll be able to take down this this pylon effectively. But EGIncontrol is doing a lot of damage to the spawning pool. It's actually in the yellow, which is kind of funny to see, but it does heal over time, so it's not going to be a big deal unless EGIncontrol is actually planning on doing a lot of crazy pressure and targeting the spawning pool. That's something that I, in the StarCraft 2 beta, I actually one time fell to a Protoss who did a proxy 2-gate, and with his scouting probe he was attacking my pylon. I didn't really worry about it because it was just a scouting probe. He took down probably 100-150 shields, and that's going to kill it off. And then Zealots came in my base, targeted the pylon, and they took it down so much more quickly because they didn't have to do 150 damage. And EGIncontrol being so annoying and plopping down the cybernetic score with the completed pylon, that is such a good move. I did this against a Berserk, and he was just so pissed off. This is a practice game. He had never seen it before. This is a great way to delay the natural expansion. You just cancel Cybernetic Core, and it's not a big deal. You notice the Cybernetic Core actually has more health than the Gateway, which is a really, really effective way to think about harassing, because it has almost 1,000 additional health compared to a pylon. It is ridiculous. I think it's about 650 health if I do the math correctly in my head. But now it's almost 5-minute mark. We have Zerg at 26 food, and Aquanda is only just now putting down his natural expansion. He does have the double queens out. He's getting his metabolic boost. He's continuing to mine from the extractor. It looks like he's got an Evo chamber down as well, so he should be able to get up his upgrades. So be very smart move. And there it is, +1 attack being researched immediately for his Zerglings. Very effective DPS-oriented Zerglings will be out. EGIncontrol seems to be doing what looks like to be a 3-gate fast expand. Again, that very classic PvZ opening that's generally is always happening. And Aquanda has an Overlord over here, but it's not in position to actually be able to see this. If EGIncontrol can see this Overlord with this pylon, you will be able to take it out in time, but to the point where it won't be able to accomplish anything. But now, poking the front, seeing these 2 sentries is so important for Aquanda. That is so indicative of their fast expand to have only sentries out as opposed to stalkers, that Aquanda should feel completely comfortable that there's not going to be anything screwy going down with what EGIncontrol is trying to accomplish. Aquanda could have actually pushed up the front and maybe onto the base, but this is so standard. He shouldn't have any worry. And oh, actually, there it is, trying to get down the base, but that's not happening. Zerglings is back here, so Aquanda just having such a huge map control in terms of vision. It's not even bothering to control these watchtowers because he doesn't need to. He has vision of every single little choke. Now the question is EGIncontrol going to put on some pressure with this massive amount of Zealot sentries? Throwing down this Nexus actually gets blocked off by the Zergling. That is annoying, but it does get taken out. So there it is. Nexus going down for EGIncontrol. Kind of late, actually, and they are Quanda with the trickery statement. Looks like trickery is afoot. Yeah, you'll notice that Nexus is very, very late. Looks like EGIncontrol went for another round of warping in units instead of getting that Nexus. Aquana was really aware of that. That's why he was poking in. And he actually gets into the base. This Zergling does actually see everything. I know there's only 3 gates, so he's got to feel fairly okay because of that. But this is a push coming down from EGIncontrol. Aquanda does have roaches on the way, as Spinecrawler is almost completed. But I think these guys will actually be able to get there in time before the Spinecrawler will complete. No proxy pylons are there for reinforcements, but it's a straight Zealot sentry force. It is very, very strong. Quanda does have a few roaches out, but with a few good force fields, this will not be an issue. Looks like EGIncontrol might be backing out after forcing the units. 6 Zerglings are on the way. A couple roaches down. 5 roaches are on the field. This is more than enough to deal with EGIncontrol's little army, and EGIncontrol's go ahead and retreat after forcing those units. Very, very solid move for him. He's actually even ahead in the food count. He's also throwing down a gateway and a forge, so he's going to prepare to get a massive army. Actually being a little overzealous with his probe transfer also, but it shouldn't be a huge deal. There he's going to go ahead and press C and get his guys mining once more. He also got his 3rd gas very quickly. Something of note, he's also getting his +1 weapons upgrade. Very, very good move. Getting a proton cannon right here to make sure that he doesn't fall to any burrowed roaches. Only getting the 1 to have the detection. Very, very safe move. I find it interesting that he does get this 3rd gate, this 3rd assimilator so quickly, as that does hamper your mineral income to a higher degree than you might think. But here we go. Aquanda is just going to take down the rocks at his gold. Going to try and just be as stable as he can. Going to get up his expansions out as much as he can. Is also expanding creep very efficiently. Starting that is going to be a very smart move. He doesn't really have a great Overlord spread, but he does have an Overlord down here. Another one over here. Good vision. But again, he doesn't have this 2nd watchtower. EGIncontrol might be trying to get that off and on. He's actually about to push. Having that watchtower now would be such a big deal to see this incoming attack. But he's going to go ahead and see it with this Zergling running around and actually seeing the entire army. I really hope Aquanda was looking at his map to see this. And Aquanda is actually now getting down his 3rd base at this in-base thing. And actually he's not going to... I don't know if he's going to be able to break down the rocks in time. As EGIncontrol is going to move in and start targeting down the hatchery. Does force the cancel. And Aquanda could move in and actually wait for EGIncontrol to move up the ramp. He's got to be careful with the force fields. But looks like EGIncontrol is going to go ahead and pull back. And Aquanda's now just going to get the gold. He's got the minerals for it. He might as well. And looks like EGIncontrol is going to push back. All of these Zerglings are going to get poked by the Stalkers, but they're going to actually draw attention to his army, and EGIncontrol is going to start attacking in the front with a pure gateway force. His macro is proved to be very effective as he's ahead, and actually might... he's not going to force field to take those guys out. But Aquanda trying to macro up a lot more. But what's his drone count? 47 to 49. EGIncontrol is ahead in every little respect. If this gold base does go down, then Aquanda will be in a much better spot. EGIncontrol is moving around, bringing his army back, probably going to start taking out his rocks and start getting up his own 3rd base. Yep, that does seem to be his what he's trying to do, and Aquanda's aware of it, as he does have this Zergling just there to spot. So he's got all these roaches and everything. No glial reconstitution yet. He is still on slow roaches, and he does have his lair out. He's researching burrow. But the lack of glial reconstitution is kind of a mistake in my opinion, as he does need to have speed roaches to make them more mobile, but EGIncontrol's macro is proven to be superior. Aquanda is now getting down this base as well, so it looks to be a double expand, but he's behind in the drone count to a very large degree. 44 drones only at this point. See, the income is definitely in favor of EGIncontrol by a couple hundred. That is definitely a weakness. Aquanda does have a lot of banelings research now. There we go. What is that? 17? No, it's yep, 17 banelings. That is a very large amount of DPS. Plus, he has them inside the Overlords now. This is going to be some great DPS if he can just land them on top of the sentries. You see, EGIncontrol is very sentry heavy. But the amount of Stalkers means that these Overlords might fall before they can actually get down there. But Aquanda is Oh, he's completely caught out of position. He can't attack in the front because his overlords will just get sniped off before they can drop the banelings on top of this army. In control, a guy should take down this hatchery, but slow roaches are just such, they're not a benefit at all. And In Control's got to be wary of those overlords. It's like he's aware of the fact that they could be holding banelings in there. And oh no, he's not moving away in time, and he's going to drop down baneling. Yes, dropping down banelings on top of the sentries. That is huge. Stalkers taking a lot of damage, trying to spread the stalkers, but the baneling splash is still being very, very effective. In Control, looks like the food count's actually stayed about even in terms of differential, but this Immortal is now getting pulled back, but no speed. It's about to be finished for the Roaches. Aquana needs to pull back, though. He lost his hatchery. That is kind of a big deal. He does have this hatchery in the back. He's getting another queen down there. Needs to get some more drones. Look, he's going straight for Zerglings right now. It's very low economy style. Unfortunately, Control does have, wow, 4 cannons morphing down here. He does have a gateway and a pylon to complete this wall off, but this is going to be a very hard spot to break. But Quanda is pushing it at the perfect timing to take down these cannons before they can even get close to finishing. Looks like In Control might just cancel that one. No, it's going to get taken out. But 2 of these cannons do complete, and this is a lot more protection for In Control. Looks like he's going to wall off completely. Yes, gateway and 2 more cannons, getting out the assimilators to try and get his gas up ASAP. Aquanda does have centrifugal hook banelings right now inside all these overlords, almost loading every single one of these completely. So that's really effective. Speed Roaches are now going to help him a lot. And Quanda is now ahead in the food count. We do see that drones are in production. It is the income's actually now still in favor of In Control. He does have this 3rd base up, and he will have it up in a second. But this is going to be an interesting little attack. There are the overlords moving in. Quanda is now just going to go ahead and start sniping off these cannons. In Control is being forced to pull his army, but this is going to be great to actually have the overlords moving on the side. They are not within vision of In Control. He's going to be hit hard by these guys. As the sentries all on the left too, and there is the dropping of those banelings, doing so much damage, just decimating In Control's army. That is so detrimental to In Control having units to attack with. This one Immortal could get sniped easily by the Roaches. Looks like that is going to be the case. That Immortal does go down, and In Control is warping in more units, but there is Burrow and Tunneling Claws being completed, but looks like he's going to go ahead and run away and be safe. He's actually going to run away and see that the Colossi are coming out with the Extended Thermal Research at the Robotics Bay. This is looking really, really good for Aquanda. Now he's doing a ton of damage. However, he didn't kill any probes. That is the most concerning factor about all this. You can see production tab is just strict Zerglings, but he's now 6 drones behind. That is less than before. Zerglings are now in the mix. This is going to be a perfect little bit of DPS. Plus 2 attack upgrades done on those Zerglings, going to decimate a lot of things. This Roach also is plus 2 attack, so Aquanda is really focused on DPS, not worrying too much about armor. But the fact that In Control has a plus 1 attack upgrade, it's going to mean these Zerglings are dying to 2 hits instead of 1 from the Zealots, as he is continuing to push in as much as he possibly can. Zerglings are now finally taking down some of the probes, but In Control being smart and not having his probes attack to have them draw aggro. Instead, he is just going to have them sit there. Wow, this is looking really, really interesting. That Slimmer got taken out, and this Colossus is actually taking hits from his Zerglings to the point where it's going to take hull damage. When do you ever see a Colossus go down into the orange because of Zerglings? That is cool to see. Aquanda mass expanding as well. You can see his units are really, really increasing in terms of count. You can see he's still behind in the food count, but the drone count is now back in his favor. That is what he wants. He needs to be an expanding, needs to be a macro Zerg. That is the way to do this. And again, putting in more banelings inside the overlords, but he doesn't have a ton of banelings right now. He's spreading out. Oh no, he's going to go for drops on the mineral lines. That's what he's going to do, is splitting up these overlords. He does have, he has to worry about this vision over here, especially the fact that there's no minerals down there that could be mined by these probes. In Control is transferring a lot of probes, over 24 probes. Looks like he's actually going to bring them down here to this base, which would be perfect for Aquanda if he's going to use this Overlord to drop down on the mineral line. Yeah, this is going to be so bad. Look at all these probes. That's stirring a bunch up, and all you need is 2 banelings to hit them in a Quanta with an almost map hacking capability. It's going to be able to attack. In Control needs to have vision up here with a pylon or cannon or something. But oh my god, this is going to be horrible. Moving in, and there it is, dropping the banelings, going to destroy everything. Oh my god, what? 42 probes are left. That is insane. Let's just look at the killed worker count. Actually, it's not allowing me to pull it up. If I go to the units killed, yeah, for some reason that's not happening right now, but it's not a huge deal. So Quanda even now has infestors on the field. Doesn't seem like he has pathogen glands yet. I don't think he, as I can't really read. Maybe he does. They're kind of up there. If I move to the left a little bit, 70, yep, no pathogen glands being researched quite yet, as the infestors only have the starting 50 energy upon when they pop. tQaquanda has a base down here on the left, so it goes 1 base, 2 base, 3 base, 4 base. 4 bases are mining. I'm not really counting this. I think it's only 3 bases are mining. But Greater Spire started to research. Ooh, that is a great move on tQuanda's part. He's got a lot of upgrades. He's at 2-1. He finally has the Carapace upgrade, so Zerglings don't die in 2 hits from these Zealots. But EGIncontrol is trying to mock up another army, but he took so much economic damage that he's actually behind the food count again. tQuanda is being really efficient. EGIncontrol is only at 1-1 upgrades. His Twilight Council is only coming down now. He's trying to get as much as he possibly can, but he's got double Robo. Knows Colossi are the answer to the splash damage of the Banelings and the Roaches. The Defectors are going to be a beautiful, beautiful add-on to this attack. Looks like EGIncontrol is still staying on 3 bases, not expanding quite yet. He wants to get the gold base. He wants that economy as he's fell behind in the worker count and everything. You can see the unit counting station 54 probes to 74 drones from tQuanda. tQuanda's low economy start is now switching into a macro late game. This is a beautiful style of play. He does now have a lot of mining happening. You see the income is... Oh, he's got over twice the income of EGIncontrol in terms of minerals, plus more in terms of gas. So he's really looking solid. He's getting Overseer, going to be able to do a lot of scouting with this. He does know that EGIncontrol is going for Colossi. 4 Colossi is a really, really strong amount. That's a lot of DPS, especially with the attack upgrades that he has. He's actually getting a Dark Shrine now. Where is this Dark Shrine? That is a really, really smart move. Going to try and get harassment done. He knows he took economic damage. He needs to deal it right back. If tQuanda is not ready for the Dark Templar, then it's going to be a beautiful move. But look at this. So many Banelings are in these Overlords. This is a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for tQuanda to do even more damage to EGIncontrol's army. EGIncontrol is positioned down here at this choke, but this pound's going to go down. EGIncontrol, no gold base for you. Wasted sentry energy for you as well. A couple of Zerglings did get roasted, but that is not going to be a large deal at all. You can see the Colossi +1 attack upgrade. They do 34 damage per attack. With another upgrade or two, they'll actually one-shot Zerglings and Banelings, I believe. I hope I'm not lying when I say that, but I believe the math is actually in favor of that, as Zerglings do only have 35 health. Although maybe with the armor upgrades, it might dissipate enough. But ooh, tQuanda with Lings is going to go ahead and start doing some drops back here in the main base. Going to take out a few pylons. But EGIncontrol, morphing Dark Templar. Here comes the Dark Templar harassment going in different directions. Beautiful move. But oh, tQuanda is ready for this. He's got the Spore Crawler and the Spine Crawler up in the front. And this Dark Templar could very well be dying if there's an Overseer. Or nope, there is a Spine Crawler and Spore Crawler. So that Dark Templar is going to do no damage whatsoever. It takes a few hits on the Queen, but that is all. And yep, this is going to be perfectly safe. We do see this Spine Crawler does not have a kill. The Queen does not have a kill. Did he pull back that Templar? Yes, he did. Going to try. It looks like he took a few hits on this and just pulled back immediately. And the Baneling actually explodes. Oh, he might have just tried to explode on top of the Shimmer, but that is a very, very interesting move on his part. But again, perfectly safe. The Spore Crawlers and Spine Crawlers are going to prevent any Dark Templar harassment from happening. So EGIncontrol's attempt to get back in the economy is gone, and the Archons can't fit through that gap. EGIncontrol forced to kill off a gateway, and then to get his Archons out there. This is actually a very smart move for EGIncontrol. Archons are beautiful anti-Zerg units. They do a ton of damage, plus they tank even more. They have that bonus against anything that is biological. So they have a perfect move in this army composition. So here we go. All these the cannons are going to be so for good for being safe. And EGIncontrol, finally, he did add that photon cannon down there, but with an Overlord might actually be able to survive to get to the mineral line with Central Hook Banelings to attack that front. And actually, oh, Broodlords sieging this gold base. Beautiful tQuanda. It's actually my force to cancel. It does force to cancel. That is huge for EGIncontrol to have to deal with. tQuanda is now max. He lost an Overlord somehow, but he is doing. Oh, this is such a beautiful, beautiful move. Strategic move by tQuanda. Oh, one more Broodling, and that would have gone down. But still, he is so high up in the upgrades. It's going to be a great way to continue putting on the pressure. Roaches are out. They have +3 attack. The Zerglings have +3 attack. No adrenal. Oh, actually, it's being researched. Adrenal glands is being researched. So this is looking beautiful for tQuanda. He's got 7 even Broodlords attacking, sieging the front. We do have Infestors down there. They could actually might have wanted to funnel growth the middle line, but that's not going to happen. But the Colossi count is massive for In Control. 8 Colossi are going to be able to do so much DPS against this army. But guess what? Broodlords hit Colossi with greater range than the Colossi, even extended thermal lance that can't even hit the Broodlords. So this entirely interesting army composition is fascinating to see from In Control. Archons and Colossi is very, very interesting combination. If you can get Internal Parasite, that'd be terrible. Adrenal Gland's about to complete, but look at this. The fully loaded Overlords getting taken out before they can drop any of the... Oh my god, Control is decimating everything. Broodlords are still on the field, but all of these Stalkers they have Blink. They're going to start taking out the Broodlords. Aquanda's doing a lot of damage, but In Control, it just has so many Colossi that Broodlings don't have any chance to do any damage. You can see even the Sentries are staying alive, and they're killing off the Broodlords. Infested Terran are going down there, but the Broodlords are still alive. There's not that much anti-air left. In Control needs to use this. Oh, one Broodlord finally left. He blinked up under them, warping in some more Stalkers to save the day. His Colossi count is just so huge. Looks like Lings are down here doing a lot of damage. Oh my god. Dark Templar are even in the mix. This is beautiful, beautiful play. That's a great hold by In Control. His Colossi count nullifying a lot of the Broodlings' damage, as the Broodlings are the main DPS units of the attack. And this entire time that got taken out. Oh, that is a beautiful move. In Control just being so efficient with his army. Everyone here is playing amazing, and Aquanda is now being forced to get mainly Corruptors, not morphing Broodlords. But 14 Corruptors is going to do a great job of sniping off some of these Colossi. This is a huge worry for Aquanda right now. Roaches are moving in, but they're just going to be asking to be taken out. Is there corruption on the Colossi? You got to start working on taking them out, but no, the Stalkers are being enough to force Aquanda back. In Control is doing better with his upgrades, +2 upgrades, and he's actually warping in Dark Templar. A lot of Dark Templar are in this mix. He's using them to get Archons. This is exactly what he needs to do. We do have all these Corruptors down here going to start taking down all these Colossi, sacrificing them in. Zerglings and Roaches are running in, and the Colossi count is really diminishing with all these Corruptors attacking. But there's just so much DPS that In Control is just getting... Whoa, he's getting slaughtered. All these Corruptors need to leave and morph into Broodlords, because if it's possible, if Roaches is being morphed in by Aquanda, he's now ahead in the food count, taking that Colossi out. Was so huge. That was a huge food eater for In Control, and In Control is really falling behind. He does now have this gold up, though. You can see he's just now beginning to mine from this. Has not been up for very long. Warping a lot of Stalkers, and fungal growth on the Stalkers and the Archons. Beautiful move. We do have more Stalkers being morphed in. Looks like In Control wanted to shut down that. Excuse me, I'm burping. Shutting down that base. I've been drinking caffeine to try and make sure the cast is interesting, but this is insane. In Control is playing well. Beautiful holds on Aquanda's amazing strategic gameplay, forcing so much from In Control, and In Control is now going to have to deal with more Broodlords, as these Overlords are still alive. Corruptors are still on the field as well. Infestors are there. Roach army. Broodlords are now completing 4 Broodlords. So you can just siege the front, deal with the Stalkers efficiently, and Control needs to start mining from this as he is overly saturated. Oh, Dark Templar is attacking this hatchery, and it's almost about to go down. Oh, Aquanda needs to save this. This huge investment to not have canceled this base. The Dark Templar does so much damage, especially with +3 attack, it does 60 damage. That is huge, but now Roaches are there in the mix. Now getting Spine Crawlers before even starting to mine. He needs to make sure he does not fall to any more Dark Templar. Down here in the base, we do have Broodlords in beautiful position, sieging In Control's third. Actually, fourth, but blinking up, he's actually in range of the Stalkers, and he's not pulling back, losing 2 Broodlords. He's going to start attacking front, but beautiful flank by both the Roaches and the Lings. Going to do a great job of forcing In Control to pull back. He does have a lot of cannons up, that's helping him a lot in this defense, but here we have Corruptors doing nothing because there's no Colossi to take out. But oh my god, In Control is holding, he's holding well too. The sentries are going down. These Archons are just being so effective, like 21 kills, 14 kills. Most of those are probably Broodlings, but look at this, Aquanda is morphing 5 more Broodlords. A lot of DPS trying to seize the front, but In Control is adding a ton of Immortals to his mix. Chrono boosting out just straight Immortal production. His upgrades are looking pretty good as well. He's got 3 attack upgrades, but no more armor upgrades and no shield upgrades at all, actually. But here we go. 4 Broodlords are there, and now we have another Dark Templar moving in, but it might actually get taken out before it can finish off this hatchery. It looks like it will get taken out, but it does a ton of damage, even though it got killed. If 3 or 4 Dark Templar moved into this base, sniped the Spore Crawler, and then just started taking down the hatchery, that could be a beautiful move on In Control's part. Looks like they can go ahead and go for an all-out attack onto this base. Doesn't seem like Aquanda's ready for it. Aquanda's moving out of position. His Broodlords are slow on the right side of the map, and EGIncontrol is going to move in and start taking out this base. Aquanda's gold is close to mined out. This base down here does not have much left either in terms of mining, so they continue pushing in the front as, oh god, Spore Crawler goes down. Oh, this is going to open so much for harassment, and this is so bad for Aquanda. He needs to, he's actually going to completely flank, but there's so many immortals for EGIncontrol that it's going to wreck the immortals. We actually have Neural Parasite onto this immortal. That's a beautiful move, but the infestor got sniped. The immortal could not do too much damage against EGIncontrol's own units, but Burrow on these drones is a beautiful move to keep them alive. Aquanda is starting to look bad. EGIncontrol's doing a great job of late game management, but oh, look at that! We have infested Terrans being spawned down here. EGIncontrol taking so much damage, probably from fungal growth. Looks like one fungal growth fell off on all of those probes. That is huge. Infested Terran are going down, but EGIncontrol is taking command of this game. Aquanda, even though he's ahead, actually no, never take that back. He's not ahead in the food count anymore. He is behind. EGIncontrol is managing everything so well right now. EGIncontrol not even taking the base. Looks like he wants to take this base now. Going to go ahead and get cannons up, but these cannons at his bases have been so useful in just defending. We see a lot of kills on these guys. But he's about to lose them to Broodlords. Lings are out. We're ready to deal a lot of damage, but these Archons are anti-Ling monsters. They do so much damage. You can see they actually will one-shot Zerglings with 47 damage per hit. Wisp Splash damage, that is huge, but they're not in position. EGIncontrol is sniping off the Broodlords, but there's just so much other units that are out there. The problem is that there are Immortals in the mix and wreck the Roaches before they can do anything, and the Broodlords are getting taken down. EGIncontrol is just destroying everything from Aquanda. Aquanda is not looking very good. Aquanda has forced pros to be down here before not being able to mine, but actually GG is being called by Aquanda. He was not able to get this base up in time, just no economy, and EGIncontrol actually ends up winning. That is a beautifully handled game by EGIncontrol, doing so much damage to Aquanda. Very, very awesome game, but he actually ends up getting taken out.